The Nigerian Prince versus My Grandpa. My grandpa received an email from a Nigerian prince asking for help transferring money. Instead of just deleting the email, my grandpa replied that he'd be happy to help. But first, the prince needed to send him $50 for gas so he could get to the bank. The prince never responded again. "Help me, I'm stuck in another country." A friend messaged me, claiming he was stranded in London without money or documents. I replied, "That's strange. We just had coffee in New York." No response followed.
A Hollywood actor wants to date me. My friend received a message from Keanu Reeves confessing his love for her. He claimed to be on a secret film shoot and asked for money to speed up his divorce process. She replied, "Keanu, I thought you were rich," and got blocked.
A buyer with very strange demands. I was selling a phone online when a buyer messaged me. "I've sent the money. Now ship the phone and provide the delivery receipt." Of course, no money ever arrived, but then he added, "If you don't send it, I'll call the police for theft."
A text from a bank that I don't have. One day I received a text. "Your card has been blocked. Urgently follow this link." The problem was, I never had an account with that bank. I called them back and said, "So how am I supposed to live without your card now?" And they just hung up. A $500 hotel for my cat. I was going on vacation and needed a place to leave my cat. I found an online ad for a luxury pet hotel. Everything looked perfect. Spacious rooms, scheduled meals, even spa treatments. They asked for a $500 deposit. I decided to ask for the address to check the hotel in person. Silence. After some searching, I found the same photos on a hotel website in another country. "You've won $1 million, well, almost." One morning I received an email with the subject line, "Congratulations, you've won $1,000. The message explained that I was the lucky winner of an international lottery that I had never even entered. They showered me with congratulations, told me how incredibly fortunate I was, and provided simple instructions. All I needed to do was pay a small transfer fee of $500, and the $1 million would be mine. I decided to play along. I replied saying I was thrilled but didn't have $500 at the moment. However, I could send $50 now, and they could deduct the rest from my winnings. Unsurprisingly, they agreed right away. Then I added, "But I only have cash. Can I hand it?" "To your courier in person?" The conversation immediately ended. "Looks like someone else got my $1 million.
The dream wedding and the nightmare divorce. My friend met a guy online and everything moved way too fast. He was perfect. Handsome, caring, romantic, just like in the movies. Within a month, he was already talking about marriage and inviting her to move to his country. But then, a problem appeared. He suddenly had urgent financial troubles and asked her for help. Just a small $2,000 transfer to cover visa fees and tickets. He promised to pay it all back, down to the last cent, but begged her not to tell anyone. "This is just between us." She was about to send the money, but decided to do a quick image search of his photos. Turns out, dozens of different grooms were using the same face, and online reviews told the same heartbreaking story. She sent him a link to the scam warning and wrote, "Darling, I bought tickets to visit you. See you soon?" There was no reply. The CEO who needed a gift card. One day, my coworker got an email from our company's CEO. It was urgent. "Can you buy $1,500 in gift cards for an important client? I'll reimburse you immediately." The email looked legit. Right name, company logo, even his usual way of signing. Off. My coworker was about to rush out and buy the cards when something felt off. Instead of replying, she called the CEO directly. His response? "What gift cards? I don't even know what you're talking about." Turns out, the scammer had faked his email address and was hoping someone would fall for it. If she had sent the codes, they would have been gone in seconds. Now, our whole office has a new rule. If the boss asks for gift cards, it's probably not the boss.
Too good to be true. I had been dreaming of a good camera for a long time, but new models were way too expensive. One day, I came across a post on an online forum. Someone was selling an almost brand new camera for half the market price. The seller explained that he had received it as a gift, but didn't know how to use it and wanted to sell it quickly. I contacted him, and he replied instantly. He was friendly, sent several photos, and even showed the box with documents. When I asked if I could meet him in person to check the camera, he said he lived in another city and was too busy with work to meet. Instead, he offered to ship it to me with cash on delivery, but with a $100 prepayment as a guarantee that I wouldn't refuse the package. I was hesitant, but he even sent me a picture of his ID, which, as I later realized, was fake. He also showed me a chat with other buyers where someone was begging him to hold the camera for them. This created a sense of urgency. If I didn't buy it, someone else would. I transferred the $100, and the seller immediately sent me a tracking number. Everything seemed perfect until I checked the number the next day. It simply didn't exist. I tried messaging him, but there was no response. A day later, his profile disappeared from the forum. I contacted customer support, but they had no way to recover my money, and the police told me that scammers like this are rarely caught because they use fake identities. It was a tough but valuable lesson. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Dream job or a nightmare? I was looking for a side job when I came across an ad. Flexible schedule, work from home, high salary. It seemed like exactly what I needed. The listing said the company was involved in international investments, and my task would be to process payments. I applied, and within an hour I received a response. The employer praised my resume, which I hadn't even submitted, and immediately offered me training. They explained that I would receive money into my bank account and then transfer it elsewhere. For each transaction, I would earn a commission. Something felt off. I asked a few clarifying questions, but the only response was, "Don't worry, everything is legal with us." So I decided to look up the company online and found out their name appeared on scam warning lists. I messaged the employer saying I knew about their money laundering scheme and was considering reporting them to the police. Within a minute, my account was blocked. This story could have ended differently. If I had agreed, I would have become part of a criminal scheme and could have ended up under investigation myself. Luxury apartment at a bargain price. I was moving to a new city and searching for a place to rent. After weeks of scrolling through listings, I found the perfect apartment. Modern, fully furnished, and at an unbelievably low price. It seemed too good to be true, but I wanted to believe I got lucky. I contacted the owner, who explained that he had recently moved abroad and was renting out his apartment remotely. He sent me beautiful photos, a copy of his passport for trust, and a detailed contract. The only thing left was to transfer a security deposit so he could mail me the keys. Something about this felt rushed, so I asked if I could see the apartment first. He replied that many people were interested, and if I didn't send the deposit immediately, someone else would take it. That raised a red flag. I did a reverse image search on the apartment photos. The same images appeared in multiple listings for different cities. I confronted him and, surprise, he vanished without a trace. Later, I found online forums full of similar stories. Turns out this scam was quite common. If I had sent the money, I would have been left with nothing but an expensive lesson.
The job offer that almost got me. A few months ago, I was job hunting and applied to dozens of positions online. One day, I received an email from a recruiter saying I was the perfect candidate for a remote job with an international company. The salary was great. The benefits were incredible. And best of all, they claimed I didn't need any previous experience. The interview process was quick, just a short chat via messaging app. No video call, no real discussion about my skills. They immediately offered me the job and sent me a contract. Everything looked professional, but then came the catch. Before starting, they said I needed to upgrade my home office with specific software and equipment, purchased through their approved vendor. They asked me to send $500 as a deposit, promising I'd be reimbursed with my first paycheck. I was excited, but also skeptical. I looked up the company, and while the website seemed real, I couldn't find any employees on LinkedIn or any reviews. I decided to call their listed phone number, but it went straight to voicemail. Finally, I searched for job scams matching this description, and there it was, dozens of people had been tricked into sending money for fake job-related expenses. I dodged a bullet, but I wonder how many desperate job seekers weren't as lucky.